So I run up to my room, I immediately open up WhatsApp, and one of my friends has already sent me a link. I click on it, and I join a call with him. A few minutes go by, and we're speaking about self-improvement, we're speaking about biz, we're speaking about purpose, until one very interesting topic comes up. The current meta of attracting girls, which if you don't know, it's currently having like that TikTok boy messy hair, kind of like the one I used to have. The reason that's so effective nowadays because it looks more feminine in the eyes of a masculine girl. And this has been a topic that I've been trying to hide away from because I had this kind of messy boy little hair and I wanted to get the buzz cut because I knew the benefits. I knew it would have saved time, I knew it would have felt more comfortable, I'll look more masculine, attract more feminine girls. I wanted all these benefits, but I was afraid to do so. So my friend actually encourages me to get the buzz cut, but I had the fear of what would people think in school. So my brain came up with this genius plan, and I told my friend this. Since recently I left for Easter break, which is basically a 2-week holiday, since I recently cut my hair, it's now shorter than it used to be. When I come back to school, people will see that it's shorter. So therefore when that week goes by and I cut it on Saturday, it won't seem like a drastic change when I come back on Monday. You might have no idea what the fuck I said, and that's exactly what my friend thought. Literally, he said these 6 words that I'm never gonna forget. You sound like a complete autist. And everything goes quiet. And I let those words sink in. And I realize how much of a pussy I am. And he tells me, so when are you gonna get it? And I say, I'm gonna get it this week with some confidence in my chest. But then he says, nah, if you really want it, you'll get it today. And school starts in 2 days and I'm still terrified to actually make this change. My lizard brain comes up with one final thing. What if I cut it during summer break, where it's a long period of time, so people will see me differently because it's already been 2 months, so it's not that big of a drastic change. But that didn't work, as my friend says, what difference will it make if you get it now or you get it later? You're still gonna have to face the pain, you're still gonna have to make the change. It's not gonna be any different. You're just delaying the pain and you're just wasting your mental energy. He says when you come back to school, all people are gonna remember is that, oh, Matthew used to have a little bit on the top and a low taper on the sides. Bro, you're not that important in people's lives. Everyone you know has already forgotten you exist. When people leave school and go do their own stuff at home, they already forget that you even exist. Look, you know that girl you have a crush on who journals and who doesn't use social media? Would you really want a guy who's got this little messy TikTok boy hair, whose hair gets in the way when he fights? She'll be repulsed by that. And when my friend said that, that struck me in the balls, literally physically and mentally. And that was it. I finally quit my bullshit, and 2 hours later I'm laying in my bed with my phone, sending my friend the image of me with my new haircut. And he actually gained so much respect for me. He instantly told me how much more masculine I looked, and I was so grateful he called me out on all my bullshit. As if it wasn't for him, I would have still had this TikTok boy little messy hair. And this story reminds me of a chapter of The Way of the Superior Man, because we as guys grow from each other. Picture this, imagine you're running this 100-meter sprint. If you're alone and you're really only going to use 70% of your potential because there's no reason for you to run. Now let's take the same scenario, you have to run this 100-meter sprint, but there's 2 guys right next to you and there's girls watching. Now you're gonna run like your life depends on it, because you don't want these guys to be, you don't want to look bad in front of girls. And something that just popped into my mind that makes you kind of feel angry is that in the modern day we're told that competition is bad, that we get participation medals and all these bullshit, but why would you get a medal for losing? We're told in the modern day that competition is bad, it's shallow, it's bad for you, all of these things. But you need to understand, we as guys grow from competition. If it wasn't from competition, we would still probably be using 50% of our power. When we have competition, we're going to be using 80, 90 because we actually want to beat these other 2 guys. And it's not just through competition, you also have accountability. Let's say me and you are working out and we're at the gym and you're just sitting there for 7 minutes and you're taking a really long rest break and you're just on your phone and you're not really thinking much about it. You're just kind of scrolling, maybe you're reading something, maybe you're texting someone, and you haven't realized but 7 minutes have gone by and you should have been lifting weights by now. And I call you out, I tell you, why are you sitting? Come on, let's go lift. And you realize, oh shit, I need to actually get off my phone and actually lift. Bro, that little message would have saved you 15 minutes that you would have otherwise just been on your phone, and then after 15 minutes you would have realized, oh shit, I should have probably been working out. You have someone who's holding you accountable to your goals. One of the most powerful ways we grow from each other is calling each other out on our bullshit. Because when your emotions are involved and you're on your own, it's so easy to take the wrong choices. It's so easy to take the easy path out. You say you're too tired to work out, you say you're too tired to work, but other guys will see that you're just being emotional and you're just being a pussy basically, and they'll call you out on that. They'll tell you you're being a bitch. You can just go and work out anyway. What? Your leg is not broken, you can work out. You're not tired. Come on, let's go. For example, I remember this one time, I was in the living room with my brother. I had my bag ready to go to BJJ. And I thought to myself, wait, what if I don't go? Because I was slightly sick. But my brother tells me, just go, man. There's no point. Just don't waste the time. Basically translated to stop being a pussy, go to BJJ. and I actually got this little energy in me, and I went to BHA, and it was probably one of the best sessions that I had. And I would have missed out on that if it wasn't for my brother calling me out on me being a pussy. And 9 times out of 10, you probably are being a pussy. You're probably not too tired to go to the gym. You're probably not too tired to go to your martial art. You're not too tired to work. Emotions just have control over you. And it would have just made you more productive and more hardworking by calling you out on your bullshit. I know this may sound simple, but when you get critiqued, you're improving your weaknesses and you're getting called out on things that you might not spot yourself. For example, let's imagine me and you are in school, right? And we're walking down the hallway to maths or something. And we're just speaking to each other. And I tell you that your breath stinks. You might feel a little bit offended, but let's say you fix it up, you go to the toilet and brush your teeth and you scrape your tongue or whatever, and then you go to math class. That would have actually improved your weaknesses, because you might feel a little bit offended, but the same girl that you wanted to speak to will think that about you and she'll be repulsed by you. Obviously, she's probably not going to call you out on it because she wants to be respectful, but we as guys are meant to call us out to push us to be our best selves, to not have stinky breath when we want to speak to girls. So constantly try to get feedback from guys around you. Constantly try to get feedback from your dad, from your brother, from just guys around you. Like ask them like, do I look good? Does my breath stink? Does my hair actually look nice? You can just ask these things, and you can get inputs from other guys, because you can tell them to be unfiltered. They don't have to be nice or whatever. The more raw they are, the better you get, because then you get critiqued and there's a guy telling you your breath stinks, and then you go like, oh, okay, well, I should probably fix that. And this pushes you to be the worst version of yourself. What you can do is like hop on calls with other guys who are like-minded like you, who want to achieve goals. And I do have a free community you can join where we do coaching calls, we do accountability, just like what I'm telling you in this video. We'll call each other out on bullshit. Why not basically have a brotherhood of like-minded men where there's a guy who has the same interest as you, there's a guy who has the same interest as you. Why not join that and be able to hop on a call and call each other out on their bullshit and actually maybe build a business strategy and grow together. And you're actually going to be able to speak to guys who are actually on self-improvement, trying to improve their lives. Unlike probably most people at your school, most people around the world who don't really want to improve their lives. So if you do want to join up, the first link in the description and I'll see you in there. But you must have the right mindset for this. Your ability to receive criticism according to the way of the superior man is basically just a measure of your masculine energy. So when people critique you, I don't want you to get offended. I want you to actually have an open mind and take the point of view. Because when people say your breath stinks, when people say you look bad, you might think like, oh, these guys are being a dickhead. But they're actually helping you. And it's just basically a measure of your masculine energy. If you're not capable of taking that critique, then you're just basically being a little girl. Because I remember when I was in the call with my friend who made me get the buzz cut, I knew he wasn't trying to hurt me. I'm not gonna lie to you, he blatantly called me a boy, he blatantly called me a pussy, he told me I was retarded, and I knew he wasn't trying to hurt me, he wasn't trying to make me feel bad. He was calling me out on my actual bullshit. I wasn't being retarded. Bro, did you hear the things I was saying? I was saying, oh, if I get it now and then my hair is shorter, it won't look as short when I get back. Like, what does that even mean? He was telling me that I look like a boy, and I did, to be honest. And even though I'm 14 years old, yeah, that's nice, but I could be looking way older by having more masculine hair. All of this, he called me out on all my bullshit and it actually made me improve. And I'm actually so glad he was able to do that. Basically, the summary is, don't get offended when other guys critique you. I remember when I first got the buzz cut, I just let my mom kind of cut my hair because I didn't think my hairline would be that bad. But when I got to school, my friends made fun of my hairline. And I'm going to put up a picture here if I'm able to find one of what my hairline used to look like. But it just basically looked horrible. And my friends were telling me, okay, come on, you square forehead and whatever. But at the beginning, I was being defensive. I was being a little bitch, thinking they were dickheads. Until I realized I actually do look bad. And girls see me and they think the exact same thing. They think my hairline is weird. And even, like, basically all my friends were telling me that. My friend who cuts hair, my friend who I recently met, my friend from 3 years ago, they're all telling me this. So I think, okay, I need to fix this hairline. And I do it. I get my friend to cut my hair and I fix it up. And I was able to actually rejuvenate my confidence because of that. Because when I first cut my hair, my confidence was like up here. And then it went down here because of people calling me out on my bad hairline. And then when I fixed it, basically it just skyrocketed back up. And I'm so grateful they did that. Because it wasn't for them. If they just told me, oh yeah, you look fine or whatever, I wouldn't have been able to fix my hairline and I'll still look a little bit stupid. And I'll share with you another picture of how bad I used to look. But what you do need to be careful of is not becoming a slave to what other people say to you. You want to be able to switch through these two roles of you being able to stick to what you think is right and being able to receive critique from other people. If it's something you can improve, maybe your hairline doesn't look that good, just anything that you can change that you know will actually be a benefit to you, just being a little pussy about it. For example, for me, I knew I had to get the buzz cut, but I was afraid to do so. If you know it's something you can change and something that you know that will benefit you, like getting a better hairline, then actually listen to people who are critiquing you. But if people are critiquing you of your race, like obviously just being racist, or people just critiquing you for things you can't change, or things that you think are just like aligned to you. For example, if they're critiquing you for Who knows? Like, maybe you have a big nose. If they're making fun of you for that, you can't change that. So why would you overthink it? You don't want to become a slave to what people think, because you also want to be careful with that. But you do want to receive critique from other people to actually push you to your best self. If they're telling you your nose is too big, then who the fuck cares? That doesn't matter to you. What matters is what you can actually change. And I'm telling this with such big emphasis because I don't want you to become a slave to what other people think. Because if my younger self was watching this, he'll probably actually become a slave to what other people think. It's a lesson that I do want to tell you. I took a second to think about some experiences in my past that I can share with you about things that I wasn't able to change, but people would critique me either way. And it was actually quite recent. It was when I was in science class and one of the girls behind me was telling me that I look like an egg. And she's just honestly so annoying. I don't know why. She's like moody sometimes. She's happy. She's basically all over the place. Like, I don't know. She's just a girl. So she was telling me I look like an egg. Obviously, I knew that the buzz cut is right for me. I know it feels so much comfortable. I don't have to get hair on my face anymore. It's actually comfortable. I don't have to spend 10 minutes every single morning fixing up my hair, making it messy. I get to literally wake up, take a cold shower, and work on my business. Like, script the videos, record the videos for you so you can learn. She said that to me. And first of all, she's not a guy, so I wouldn't listen to her, to be honest. But second of all, bro, there's nothing I can't change. I already cut my hair. I can't just magically stick it back on. I know that this is actually right for me because I want to have short hair, because having long hair is it's a hassle. You have to spend 10 minutes every single day making it messy. You have to do this, you have to wash it, you have to use these products. It just takes so much time. So I just didn't want to do that. So why would I listen to her? You want to also keep authentic to yourself, what you think is right. And I do want to emphasize this point because I don't want to have the wrong mindset with this. So here's what I did with my friend. I messaged him and we said, let's hop on a call so we can discuss business, self-improvements. The call was meant to be kind of just about general self-improvement, but eventually came down to girls and eventually came down to getting the buzz cut. So what I would do is message one of your friends that you can trust. Maybe a guy that you've been friends for a long time. Maybe a guy who's already on self-improvement, which would be great. You message him and you tell them, let's hop on a call, let's talk about self-improvement, let's talk about this. Or maybe just send them a message asking them, what is something that I can improve? What is something that you think I can improve on? And you say, don't hold back, I won't be offended. Because when you tell them that, they'll be like, okay, then it's fine for me to actually tell him the truth. So you send them that, and maybe you send them a picture of yourself. You see, like, what is something I can improve my face? Is my acne too visible? Do you think my hairline is bad? Like, just, you can think of whatever. There's like a million ways you can improve. So you just send them a photo of yourself, or think about some ways that maybe your behavior, maybe you're being a pussy at the gym, and he tells you, okay, you're being a pussy at the gym. So just hop on a call with a guy. This is exactly what the way of the superior man says. Like, you need to be able to have some time to speak to your masculine friends, and the way you do that is just like hopping on some calls with them and actually speaking to them and discussing with them. So what I would do is send a message to one of your masculine friends and tell them, how could I improve myself? Just something simple as that. Don't overthink it, just do that. If he's really your friend, he'll tell you ways that you can improve, ways that you might have not spotted. And that's actually very valuable for you, because those exact flaws that you might have, girls are thinking that. For example, for me, it was like my clapped hairline. Guys were telling me that it was bad, but girls, obviously, they didn't want to be disrespectful to me. So they weren't telling me that my hairline was bad, but it was actually pretty bad. And the reason you do want to do this with guys is because girls almost have the tendency to be nice to you. They don't really want to critique you that much. So you do want to, that's why you do need masculine friends. And also remember the mindset. Your ability to receive feedback is basically just a measure of your masculine energy. And remember, don't become a slave to what people say. If you think something's authentic to you, then keep it. I know I sound like a guy giving life advice, but I've actually experienced this with buzzing my hair. I've experienced this, so I'm actually credible to be able to say this, if that makes sense. I don't want you to think like I'm just some 14-year-old giving life advice. I'm actually telling you things that I've experienced. Like, for example, I had to get the buzz cut, which was a massive change. If you don't know, but you've definitely been in school, but if you've not been in school, bro, if you get a new cut, people are gonna slap the hell out of your back, especially in the UK. Thankfully, nobody did. But when you get a new cut, people see. Because it's such a big change when you get a new cut, especially when I used to have messy hair, I used to look kind of cute and everything. I do have a free community, which will be the first thing in the description, where you can join. You will have masculine friends around you, holding you accountable. You can start discussing about self-improvement, about girls, about business. I do coaching calls, and if you do want to join that and you do want to see myself grow, I'm 14 years old right now. And I do want to tell you, I am 14 years old. So if you want to see me grow and see how good I'm going to get when I'm 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, you can join my free community and you'll learn from me. And you're going to get early access to this, because 10 years from now, I'm not going to be able to give this free coaching code. My coaching code will be worth thousands. And I see that with confidence, because I know I'm reading these kinds of books of The Way of the Superior Man. I'm reading these kinds of books. Influence. This looks like a old Bible because of how big it is. I'm reading these books. So If you do want to join, I'll be the first in the description, and I'll see you in there.